Guys, Randy here from Garrison Speed Shop. Still working on the Trans Am build for LS Fest. Still got some wet sanding to do on some of the paint, some body work to do on the other side. But while I'm waiting on some mud to dry, trying to keep busy on this because we're running out of time. I want to do a quick update / tutorial on how to lower the rear of a 98 to 2002 F-body, whether it be Trans Am, Firebird, Firehawk, Camaro, Formula, any of that. So front is pretty decent. As you can see here, about 2 fingers there over the top of the wheel, maybe a little less, which is kind of where I want to be. I definitely don't want to be scrubbing, but man, the rear of this thing has got the straight Z71 lift kit on the back, and yeah, we can't have that. So as you can see here, I mean, straight knife hand, you know, 4 fingers and more. So what I'm looking to do is achieve about a 2-inch drop on the rear. I'm going to do that by cutting the rear springs. You know, I could order drop springs, spend a couple $100 on that, but at the end of the day, this is a pretty newer car. If it was a really old car and I was worried about what it might do, whether it might compromise the springs, then I might go with lowering springs. You know, they're all rusted and wore out. But I mean, in the greater scheme of things, this thing's a 2002. These springs should still have pretty good integrity. So we're gonna pull it into the shop where we can get a fan going and hopefully not die. And this Mississippi heat is cooking, so we're gonna pull this thing in here, get the rear wheels off, and show you guys what's up. All right, I'm trying to do this with one hand, but basically we jacked it up under the rear end, got our jack stands on to support the frame itself. That way the rear end will drop down. And I think I'm just going to be able to... Give me a second here, guys. I'm going to pry this off this lip. Yeah, so pried it up onto the lip here. Took a rubber mallet, knocked it off. This thing did not have very much spring pressure at all on it with the suspension all the way down. So I definitely would recommend getting the car on the body. That way you can get all that off of there. I'm gonna get this spring out and we'll get back with that. So we got our spring here. This is the top, right? So this will slip back on. You see it's smaller at the bottom and it has to be that way. So you have to cut from the top of the spring. So you remove that. One full spring is gonna be basically here to here. But in order to make that cut, I got marked here with a screwdriver. You're gonna have to cut down through the spring kind of twice. So don't cut it directly above where your other cut's gonna go. Cut it, you know, a little too, I guess, clockwise. That way I'm gonna cut this section out and I got plenty of room to get my grinder in to make the second cut. And then it'll obviously all be out. So just using a basic little hobo freight angle grinder with poor excuse for a disc on it. I'm going to try to use that. May end up having to put another one on it, but I'm going to make these 2 cuts and I'll get back with you guys. Okay, so made our 2 cuts to get our full coil out. Took our angle grinder, went around the edges with our cutoff wheel, make sure we're not really cutting on this boot. You see the imprint in the boot there where the spring is supposed to end, so it's pretty self-explanatory. That's going to go around to where that end is. So I'm going to get back over the car, get this thing reinstalled, drop it down, and show you guys what the passenger side looks like. Alright, so almost had a heart attack, heat stroke here in this Mississippi heat, but we're going to let it down physically here, and hopefully we don't have a emotional letdown. Hopefully it's level. Stuff Lower on this side. Check out the other side. Oh yeah. We're hoping for 2 fingers. And that's exactly what we got. Two fingers on this side. Might be like a 1/4 inch higher over here. May not have settled yet. Oh yeah, there we go. Whew. All right, let's back this thing out. See what we got here. So I am beyond happy with this. I mean, such an improvement. It's amazing what lowering a car, especially a street car or hot rod, can do for it. But man, excuse the Bondo and then the Bondo dust that's all over everything from fixing that dent back there. But yeah, that looks way better. Easiest set of springs that I've probably ever took out of my life. Like I said, if you get all of the weight on the frame and let the suspension hang free, you literally just take small pry bar. Probably could do it with a long screwdriver. I mean, it was very easy. Not dangerous at all. Not a lot of pressure on it. I thought when I was taking them out, like, man, maybe these have been took out before and cut. But yeah, looking at them, they definitely had not been. So I guess they're just pretty thick springs, pretty long springs, but which will explain why I was jacked up so high. But anyway, guys, that's the how-to. That's the update for today. I accomplished on my lunch break for the Trans Am LS Fest build. If you want to see more on this car, subscribe anyway to the channel. Got a lot of other builds going on. Appreciate you guys. God bless.